We'll discuss a new decision making. So the new one is the drop or add a segment. Okay, so segment here could be products, could be branches, could be department. So when a business may have a range of products, okay, there are many types of products that they produce. They have many branches or many departments, okay, but one of it deemed to be unprofitable. So if one of the products or branches may be unprofitable, the management may think to discontinue the product that is unprofitable. So we have to decide now whether to discontinue or drop the segment or not. Okay, however, to discontinue the product would mean, okay, the company will loss of contribution from the sales of the product. So which otherwise this contribution could cover some of the fixed costs. So only the costs that are relevant to the decision affected by decision should be considered. So in order to make a decision whether to discontinue or drop a segment or not, okay, we have to take into consideration, okay, which cost is affected the decision or not. Okay, so now we refer to the illustration. Okay, so the illustration here, okay, we have three products. So the company have manufactured three products, X, Y, and Z. So these are the operation statements for the three products. Okay, the sales for each of the product minus all the variable costs, direct material, direct labor, variable overhead to get contribution margin. Okay, for X, Y, Z, and in total. Okay, and in total. Okay, then minus the fixed cost. So fixed cost for each of the products. So from here you will see that product Z is unprofitable. It's only a loss. Okay, the company got loss from productions of Z 1,500. So now the manufacturer feels that product Z will incur a loss should be discontinued. So you have to advise the management whether the product that should be discontinued or not. Okay, from the total fixed cost of Z, 10,000, okay, 500, there are 40% of the fixed cost not be incurred. Okay, so if you produce Z, so it will be incurred. If you do not produce Z, it not be incurred. So that means this cost is 40% here is avoidable. So this is avoidable. So when it's avoidable, it will give different for different alternative. If it's discontinued, you can avoid. If you produce, you should incur. So this is relevant. Okay, the 40% will be relevant. How about the other 60%? So the 60% balance, okay, the 60% balance, if you produce Z, you have to pay. You do not produce Z, also you have to pay. So this is unavoidable. So unavoidable. So when it's unavoidable, it does not affect your decision. So it is irrelevant. Okay, irrelevant. Okay, based on the above cost data, should Z be dropped or not? Okay, now we refer to the answer. So there are two alternatives. So now we refer to the first alternative where we prepare the revised income statement. Okay, so we refer to revised income statement. Okay, so you drop Z, so now the product that you have is only X and Y. So if you drop Z, okay, how much the sales of Z is 35,000. So you do not get the revenue 35,000. Okay, but in this question, the drop of Z does not affect the sales of X and Y. So that's why the sales for X and Y remain the same. Okay, minus the variable cost. So if the variable cost will be direct cost. So if you do not produce Z, so that means no cost incurred for Z. For variable cost for Z does not incur. But for X and Y, since you produce X and Y, so the variable cost will incur. So you have to minus. So it refers to X. So if X sales does not change, so the material cost does not change. Okay, same goes to direct labor and variable overhead. So all the variable cost does not change. If the sales increase by 50%, the variable cost also increase 50%. If the sales decrease by 10%, the variable cost also decrease by 10%. So after we minus, we will get contribution margin for X and Y. So this is the total contribution margin. Now we refer to fixed cost. So what happened to fixed cost? So if you produce X and you produce Y, so the fixed cost is still incurred. Okay, so that's why we minus the fixed cost of X and Y. So how about the fixed cost of Z? If you produce Z, okay, just now we refer that only 40% do not be incurred. How about 60%? This 60% is unavoidable. So it's unavoidable means you do not produce, also you have to pay. So that's why we have to minus the unavoidable. That means you do not produce that, but you have to pay the 60% of Z fixed cost, 6,300. So total you will get the net profit for the company is 18,700. So this fixed cost 6,300 is total. Okay, if the question said that this unavoidable fixed cost will be bear by X and Y, so you should have to calculate how much the cost of fixed cost of Z should be bear by X and by Y. It depends on the percentage given. Okay. Now after we get the total profit, after you drop Z, we compare with the profit before we drop Z. Okay, so profit before we drop Z is 23,500. Okay, profit after we drop Z is 18,700. So what is the difference? Okay, before 23,500, after 18,700, that means the profit decrease. Okay, decrease by, okay, how much? 4,800. So if decrease, we put in the bracket. Okay, so decrease 4,800. Okay, so if decrease 4,800, what is our decision? So our decision now, better do not drop Z, because if you drop Z, your profit will be lower. So the profit will decrease by 4,800. Okay, profit decrease by 4,800. Okay, thank you. We'll see the alternative 2 after this.